In this Yoga for Golfers training tip, we're targeting the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, as well as the hips. And it's so important in your golf swing that you have flexibility and also strength through the areas of the hips so that you can internally and externally rotate your hips with efficiency and power. So this yoga pose is called a bound angle pose. And if I was to just have you sit with your feet together, for most of us, we'd be a bit hunched over and the knees would be up like this. So what we need to do is get the hips higher than the knees before we begin. So I've got yoga blocks here and I could sit on the yoga block. If you don't have yoga blocks, feel free to just roll up a towel or a blanket. But you can see now that just by making that simple adjustment, I can get my hips much higher than my knees, okay? And this is the proper position. Now, the other part that you might consider doing is bringing your back right up against a wall. This is really great because it gives you something to kind of press against and keep your spine upright. And most of the time I do this pose against the wall, so feel free to go against the wall here. So as we sit up tall, we're going to incorporate what's called PNF stretching with Yoga for Golfers. So with about 25% intensity, I'd like you to press down slightly onto your legs as you lift up slightly against your hands. And let's hold this for about 5 breaths. So just take an inhale and exhale. Good, and then keep breathing. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out of your nose, always when you're practicing yoga and Yoga for Golfers. Good. Now what's important here is that we then release, relax, and just sit for a moment. Okay, let's do that again together. Press the hands down into the legs, pull the legs up, sit up very, very tall. Imagine there's a line coming up through the top of the head. Hold here and breathe for about 5 breaths. Nice. And then relax. And then I would have you repeat that one more time. This is a great stretch to do when you're feeling a lot of tension in your hips and you'd like to get more mobility and action out of your hips in your golf swing.